Hello and welcome to our video. We're going to show you our multi-indicator alert. So what it allows you to do is to create a configurable alert for a range of standard indicators plus our very own Trend Pro, which is on par with other indicators that you may have seen in market. So by default it shows you our Trend Pro, and it's down here. We've got the green for buy and then the red for sell, so very straightforward, and then you get an alert when it changes from one colour to another. It also works out all the trades that would have happened looking back at the chart, and to create this really useful statistics panel. So like for here we've got a trade where that's the open price, the close price. We set it like for a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, so we got the stop loss there, and when it got to there it did a profit of 3, which is 3% gain on the account. So the statistics, it's really useful, so it's the actual profit gain on the starting balance. So it's not just pips, because pips can be a bit meaningless really. It's all about, what's the risk reward ratio. And it also works out the drawdown as well in relative terms based on the configured stop loss. And we have and you can see the live stop loss there. And we have a variety of different stop loss configurations. So what I did there, just press the config button, stop loss. So we've got a whole load of different methods available and the properties of those, and you can have a little min and max setting for those and an offset to add on a few extra pips, or you could just have a fixed pip stop loss and you can trail the stop loss. So you can try the different methods and that will update the stats. But to save you a lot of time, we've actually got this optimize stop loss button, and if you press that, what it's going to do is go through all of these settings and all the different properties. So let's just press it and it'll just see which is the best stop loss. So it's an incredibly powerful feature, so you can see it's just going through. It takes it a little while to get through, and what it's doing is continuously reworking out the stats going back. I mean, this is over 436 trade days, and you can increase that if you want to with config general. So this is how far to go back, 20,000 bars, which is an M30 time frame. So any improvements, what it'll do is save to file for the particular symbol and time frame in question. Okay, so let's talk a bit now how we configure the indicators that it's actually going to alert you on and calculate the statistics for. So at the moment, if we go to config, indicator 1, so we've got 4 indicators available that you can combine together. So let's have a look at indicator 1. And as mentioned, that's set for our Trend Pro, so we've got like a selection list here of available indicators, and those are the properties that are available. So you can actually try changing those, and you can see that how that affects the profit if you wanted to. So what we could try doing to see if we can improve things, I've put on the chart this moving average line, and it's looking like if we trade when it's gone into the buy zone, only trade the buy trade, so it would cut out a few of these duff trades where it's really kind of in a buy zone really, so perhaps don't want to be doing a sell. And then similarly here we're in the sell zone because we've gone underneath this moving average line. So again we could filter out that duff trade. So what we could do to sort of add this moving average line into what we're doing is we can go to one of these spare ones. So it's saying indicator 2 off. Well, let's just press that. Let's select, so we want moving average price above below. Let's select that. We need to set the properties. So we've got, it was a 100 period moving average. And also what we want to do, we actually want to void the entry. So if we're not on the right side of this line, when we get this green, we just want to not trade it at all. So if we click this void signal, when the other indicators are in agreement, click save, and now you can see it knock that trade out. We get the X's when it's the wrong side of the line. And you can see that's dramatically improved the profit actually. So in brackets it puts the improvement, so it's gone up there 98%. We've also improved the drawdown because we want the drawdown to be as low as possible, so again that's improved, it's gone down by 6%, so that's great. And some other things we can configure on the take profit side. It's very flexible. At the moment, as I mentioned, we've got like a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, but you could actually increase that. You can do partial closes, so you could close out 50% and then 100%. You don't have to use risk reward ratio. Some people like pips. You can just set pips if you like. You can also exit when it goes in the opposite direction, so when the indicator changes colour, and you can also do like a raise to break even. And again, any changes to these will update the statistics. Also, you can press the config and general, so there's quite a few settings there. You can control the alerts, you can get it to do an email or a mobile notification. This is a reset level. It's a bit advanced really, but that would allow you to actually open trades when it just goes from orange to red. At the moment it'd only open a trade when it goes from green to red. The trading hours, you can set that. It supports, like, you can do something in the morning and then in the afternoon and reduce a bit on a Friday, and that will all be updated in the stats if that's helping the profit or not. There's your risk per trade, which you can change, and you can put in like a fixed amount as well without the percentage sign if you wanted to say risk $50 per trade. And also, if you've got a binary options broker, you can put an expiry in there and that will update the stats based on that. And finally, if you do make a configuration change and it actually makes the profit worse or the drawdown worse, we've got this revert button where it'll automatically go back to the previous configuration for you. Okay, so we've made it very easy to convert this into an expert advisor, because at the moment it's an indicator, so all it can do is alert you. But what we can do is make it into an expert advisor that can actually open trades and manage the trades automatically. And what we've got in MetaTrader Market, we've got, if you search for RunwiseFX, we've got all our products, and we've got one that's called the Strategy Automator. Now on MetaTrader 5 it's actually called Panel Plus Configurable Automation, and that kind of better describes what it does really. So let's just show you it in action. So what we've got, let's just add it to the chart. Okay, so what it is, it's a trading panel, so you could use it for manual trading, but it can be configured to do things automatically. And we've got like a library of rules available, so all manner of indicators, standard indicators, extra filters, exit rules, a whole library of stuff you can configure it to do. But what we've got there is we've got the one for our multi-indicator alert, and we've got these little quick load codes, which is CIIC. So all we need to do is go to config, type it in, CIIC, do replace existing, and then click download. So it's going to download the configuration from our website. Click OK, and now what it's going to do, it's going to follow the multi-alert indicator. So you can see now you've got the stop loss that the indicator is calculating with that solid line, and the dashed line is actually from the EA, so it's matched the two up. So if you make any configuration changes, this is automatically going to be updated in the Expert Advisor. It does a few extra things. It will also look at news events, so it won't open a trade just before a news event, or if one's open then it can exit just before a news event, and it's all listed. For all of this to work, by the way, in Tools, Options, Expert Advisors, you need to make sure you've added our website to this allowed web request URL, and for the news you need to add Forex Factory as well. And then all you need to do to get it to trade automatically is make sure under config, general settings, this default auto mode is set to trade continuous, and that's it. That's all you need to do, and that's going to follow now whatever the signals are going forward. It'll automatically open those trades. Now it's also compatible with our slightly cheaper trade manager. Let's just show you again. We've got the this one, the Money Trade Manager, a little bit cheaper, and let's just show you that in action. So we've got that here, so let's just put that on the chart. Okay, it's just loading up. It looks very similar, but this bit isn't configurable, so you can't use that library of rules. But what you can do is you can select IC, which will be the indicator combined, which also works for our multi-indicator alert. So that again will follow the trades, but you don't get that kind of news event analysis. And also on the other one, on the Strategy Automator, which I forgot to mention, we did have like a global take profit when your account reaches a certain equity. So we do recommend the slightly dearer one. It's worth having all this configuration. And also in our library we've got like exit rules. We've got one for closing the trades just before the weekend, so you could put that in just before Friday. And again, just to load that, it's just E-M, so you just go config E-M. Don't tick the replace existing though, because we want to add it on to what's already there. Click OK, and then it's going to download it. And now automatically what it will do is when at the Friday just before the market closes, it's going to automatically close any trades that you've got open. Okay, so the final product I want to show you that we do, again, if we just have a little look under the market, we've got our indicator combine. So this adds a few extra features to our free product. Let's have a little look how it all works. Let's just close that down. So on the other charts, we've got indicator combine running. Now it looks quite similar, but there's a few extra things quite significant. So if we go into the config here, now with the indicators, it's actually, rather than just being limited to 4, you can just keep adding new ones up to like your computer resources. And there is a much bigger list of indicators available, but also with indicator combine you can actually add in custom indicators and also different strategies like reversal strategies, looking at the slope of lines, things like you could look with the ADX value, you could just check if it's above 25, that could filter out any sort of flat sort of choppy markets. So a lot of extra features there. It's also got this button, auto optimize. So on the Trend Pro there is a lot of settings there, so if you click that button it's going to go through all those different settings for you, so that can save you a bit of time. And also on its take profit, it's got an extra button there where it'll also do an automatic optimization, because there is actually a lot of settings. You know, you could have 1.1, 1.5 and various things there, so it'll go through all of those combinations. The other extra thing that you get with our full indicator combine product is this tick box here, show other chart results. So we've got indicator combine running on the different charts down here. So if we tick this box, because each one has the statistics panel, so what it's going to do is have a look at those other charts and just have a look at those statistics and order them on profits. So it'll put the most profitable ones at the top. So you can use it to select the best symbols and time frames to trade. So just a really useful feature. And also if you make any configuration changes, it'll update and it will show you the average and the change on last again. So again, you can revert back to the previous configuration if you want to. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. What I'd like to do now is just go through some advanced features. So let's go back to our original product. So this is the one, so let's just remove the Expert Advisor off the chart. So this is back to our free one, and we hope to keep it free or at least low cost, and hopefully you'll agree there is a lot of functionality there, so it is a really great, so do download it and give it a go. So let's just show you a few other things we can do with it. I'd like to show you how to configure something like the Heikin-Ashi, which is quite popular. So let's just put that onto the chart so we can have a little look, and let's just make it look a bit nicer. So what we can do is to get it to alert us when there's a colour change on the Heikin-Ashi. So I just want to show you how you would configure that. So let's go indicator 2, let's switch that off. Brilliant. Let's go to config indicator 1. And then what we want to switch to is to Heikin-Ashi. Click save. Okay, we just got a couple of alerts there because we made a big configuration change where it really gone from one colour to another. So you can see that's not really done much for the profit in that. But what we could do is, rather than just changing where we just have like one Heikin-Ashi of red and suddenly we've opened a sell trade, what we could do is go to indicator 2, select Heikin-Ashi. But we can set this shift, so we could also make sure that shift 1 is the closed candle, but we could look at the candle before closed and put the two together. So you see that's actually improved the profit now, because we're not just opening a trade just because we've had one Heikin-Ashi red. So that's made things better. So you can see how you can improve things, and you could perhaps bring back that check on the moving average and so on. And the other thing you could do, perhaps indicator 3, is something like the MACD. You can also change the time frame, so you could look at indicators on different time frames to do like an upper time frames check, something like that. And again, you can void the signal if it's not in agreement, so it's not going to delay anything, and that's made a little bit of an improvement. In fact, it's helped on the drawdown quite a bit, so that's nice. So I just wanted to show you a few extra features. So this really is the end of the video. So if you have got any questions, email us at support@runwisefx.com.